Yo, Scotty V here. I want to talk about the Canon C70. I've had it for 5 years. It was like, as soon as it launched, I was like, that's the camera I want. So I picked one up, picked two of them up actually. And I never really had a problem with the LCD screen. And I knew early on it was a thing. But the fear of needing two cameras and one's getting fixed kept me from addressing the LCD screen that eventually got where it needed to be fixed. So I called Canon and I let them know the situation and let them know how old it was. And I said, no problem. Didn't ask me, didn't give me any information about how much it would cost. I just had to mail it to them. They would have even sent me the mailing thing if I wanted it, but I was like, well, that's the least I could do. So I went online, looked at the service center that's closest to me, which turned out to be California. I'm in Texas. So I sent it out and it got back to me in like 3 or 4 days. Crazy. And so I figured I would shoot with it. Haven't shot with it in a minute because I've been shooting with this bad boy, the Canon C400. I love this thing. But just a little props to Canon for doing the right thing. 5 years later, honoring, it was a faulty thing on theirs, but that window didn't close and they took care of it, didn't charge me a dime. So props to Canon. You hear horror stories about other brands that, don't do the right thing, but Canon did for sure. Just want to talk about the C400 for a second. I did a live shoot not very long ago, and it was one take, nothing. You just had to cover an event. And normally I've done it 5 years in a row, and normally I do it on a tripod with a second camera on the car or near the car. This year I decided to put the camera on the hood, shooting through the windshield for this car giveaway to catch the excitement. And it worked out really well. It was the C70 before I sent it off. But anyways, instead of using a tripod, I used the monopod this year. Obviously these are the two pieces I would use with this, but this is the Cobra, the original. Really, really simple design. Really simple, beautiful. And it held the weight. This is probably 14, 15 pound camera, probably around there. It's a chunker, but no issues whatsoever. And just, I set it probably like 2 or 3 inches below the height, that was up close to my eye, so that when the scene called for it and I had to get up close and change the shot, I just picked it up off the ground, that 2 or 3 inches, hovered over, to the action, and then slowly put it down. It would look like a gimbal shot. It's amazing. That's it. I'm done. I'm tripods if it's a fixed shot like this, but anything covering events, no, I'm not holding the weight of the camera. I don't have anything on my neck or on my back. Monopod's the way to go. Beautiful. And like I said, this thing's a chunker. And this is how I shot with it, except for instead of the Anton Bauer, I had a V mount, which is even heavier. But yeah, man, this thing's crazy. I love this camera. And it's odd because I don't see, like, certain cameras come out and it's just flooded. Every YouTube video is about that camera of the day. And this camera got some love in the beginning, but I don't see that many people talking about it. There's same people shooting videos and covering the same things. And I know it's a badass camera. It's beautiful. And those same people say the same thing. So I'd like to hear some more from other people with the C400. Put some stuff out there. The image is ridiculous. And a lot of times I'm shooting like the live event. I shot YDR, 4K, and more than enough for that type of thing. And if I'm shooting a commercial or something that's a little more high end, of course I can shoot 6K raw, but the YDR is just fine, especially if it's going to tie in with my C70 here. I shoot that at YDR. This is on YDR. You can barely tell a difference. A little bit of tweaking, done. But this is just a quick thought. I'm really, really happy with this camera. Really happy with the C70 as well. I'm never going to get rid of that either. It doesn't make any sense. You know, a new one right now is now down to 4,500. So a used one is probably $3,000 at best, maybe even less. And for $2,000, 2,500, I'll give it to one of my daughters to mess around with before I'll sell it. Just doesn't make any sense. But props to Canon. I'm a huge Canon fan, obviously, but they make really good stuff. And the image, outstanding. That triple ISO. I've heard people, you know, make recommendations on how to shoot with the ISO, leave it on auto. Normally, I'd set the ISO what was appropriate, but like this other shoot that I was covering, I'm shooting stuff behind me, in front of me. The light's going to be way different. There's a lot going on. So that was one time where I set it to auto and I just messed with the ISO, which I have set right here. I've also got number 10 button. I have that set to my slow and fast mode. I can go from 29 to 60 with a click of a button. And then the 1-2 on my handle is for NDs. 2 because it's higher is up in ND, and then 1 is lower, lowering my ND. And I also, I have all my buttons set to certain stuff, but those are the big ones. And then I have my number 5 button here. Because I have the ISO set somewhere else, I have that number 5 button set to my rotating through the triple ISO. So I can be quick with this thing. I love it. Anyways, it sounds like a Canon love story, but it kind of is. I'm happy with it. They make really good stuff. Anyways, all right. See you later. Take care. Yo, Scotty V, I'm back. Just following through. This is the C70 that I got back yesterday or the day before. Very happy with the work Canon did. Turned it around really fast. And like I said, they honored a 5-year-old camera, a warranty. Didn't ask me for a dime. And here's the nothing. Does not move at all. No noises, no clicks, no shake, no nothing. It's beautiful. So, yeah, good work, Canon. You got my loyalty. Stuff like that, you know, goes a long way. If I would have had to send it in and pay, you know, $500 or something, I'm a little pissed off. But nope, it's beautiful. I hear of people sending in their Sonys after doing a firmware update, and it's like it bricks your camera, and they got the balls to charge you like $1,000 or whatever, or $1,000 more, or more. So that's not cool. So anyway, it's all good with Canon. This is a great camera, the C70. Beautiful image, easy to work with. And this is also for me to compare. The audio might sound different because I was using the Hollyland on the first one. It has a little bit of like a hollow sound. So I switched it out to this VM30 wireless, less than a foot away from my mouth. So looks like it's picking up just fine. Yep. So we're going to compare. But yeah, I'm real happy. It was always like a thorn in my side anytime I was using this camera, just even messing with that, because it was, you know, it shouldn't have been, they shouldn't have put it out. They shouldn't have sent it out with that kind of a flaw, because that's all everybody was talking about when this camera came out in 2020. But did the right thing, fixed it, we're all good. So all the settings on the camera, I'm shooting in wide DR again, 29.97. 2 stops of ND, 2.8, 5200 Kelvin. The light's at 5600 Kelvin at like 30% maybe. But yeah. I could tell by the screen it looks a lot brighter, but everything's the same. but full frame, Super 35. Anyways, similar settings though, so we're going to compare. And that's that. Canon C70 fixed 5 years later. Boom! All right.